hired, Michelle Ramsey-Bowman, who is with the Department of Commerce now. And then I was hired pretty much right away about 4.5 years ago to as the managing director, the only staff person. And we also have 10 board members. We consider this a working board instead of versus an advisory board. So that means the board volunteers a lot of time to make things happen in the organization. So we can have up to 13 board members. 9 are elected, which you will be electing 5 of them tonight, and then 4 are appointed, and that will be happening in January. So the board that gets elected tonight will appoint 4 more people in January. So these are the 5 people that terms are up this year. So we wanted to thank them for their service. Jim Donahue, Tim Fesky, our treasurer, Peter Tieglin, Zach Hamill, and Doug Shoemaker. Doug will be running for a board appointment in January. All right. Our bylaws require that he cannot be elected for 3 terms in a row. So he will have to be appointed this year, and then next year he can start his next 3 terms. Yay! So to kind of start off, I'll show you where we are earning our money and where we're spending our money. Here's our revenue 2012 compared to 2013. As you can tell, we did a lot better this year than we did last year. We did earn more money this year in grants and fundraising. We did the best we've ever done for fundraising this year. Our fundraiser, which is organized by Forrest, was almost record-breaking. It was close to another one. And then our Give the Max Day was record-breaking. We earned more money this Give the Max Day than we ever have before. So that was really great. We also solicited some individual donations, one from Pat Dries for $2,000. Thank you, Pat. And then event sponsorship was up too. That is the Solar Boat Regatta, the Eco Experience, the Solar Tour, and like the fundraisers, things like that get event sponsorship. But the membership and training went down. I do expect training to actually come up a little bit. We had some trainings that Jack did late in December we haven't been paid for, so those aren't accounted for in this. So training might be up, but definitely membership is much lower than usual. Yeah? Okay, so here's our expenses. The majority is salaries, me, and then grants, paying for subcontractors for the grants that we partner with other groups for. We really have a low overhead as a group, though, so we're doing really good in that regard. So we've been seeing a general downward trend for memberships. This is for individual memberships, and I think part of it was because we used to give free memberships for solar tour sites. That probably accounted for about 60 free memberships we would give away in 2009, 10, 11. And then in 2013, this year, we had problems with our membership system with City CRM. It stopped sending renewals, and it also stopped allowing people to sign up as members online. So we switched to a new membership system in the summer, and that is still not sending renewals to people. So we've definitely been having trouble getting people to re-up, and that's partially technical. But 2014, we're going to focus very hard on membership. Is Zach here? Zach's not here. Okay, so Zach Campbell is a board member that's coming off the board this year. He's volunteered to stay with us or with me and work on membership with me. So we're going to try to do membership drives and fixing the website and things like that. But we did get business membership up. It's been doing really well. We've got 14 business business members, which is the most we've ever had. So that is good news. So here's some of the other items that we do to meet our mission, which is to educate people on renewable energy. We did a lot of tabling tours and presentations. We got in front of about 40,000 people this year. Presentations to churches, presentations at conferences, and then tabling at all kinds of eco fairs and events like that. And then Zach also organized the bike tour, which was here. And we couldn't do, and all of that stuff is volunteers. I do a few presentations a year, but the majority of those 40,000 people are touched by our volunteers. So we really want to thank them. And here's pictures of the people that stained the tiny house, which was a bear of a job to do. And then that's Mark Weber tabling in Wisconsin at the Energy Fair there. So we want to say thank you to all our tabling volunteers. Here's the list of people. There's Forrest and Brett and Dustin. I don't know, where is that?
It was at the home show at the convention center. We had the home show. Yep.
And then another thing we do is we offer free speakers every month. So that helps educate people on various topics of solar. Here's the topics that we chose this year. And we're always open to suggestions. If you guys have a really good speaker that you'd like to see speak and educate people, we'd welcome them to come here. We advocated for solar legislation. We partnered with the Clean Energy and Jobs campaign this year pretty heavily. I was on the organizing committee for that campaign and worked really hard to rally not just members, but everybody on our list that we had phone numbers for or addresses. We got them to call, email their representative. We even organized carpools to have people come up to the Capitol on the day of action and lobby their representatives face to face. So we really participated, and obviously there was a great result from the legislation. We've now got community solar legislation and the value solar tariff and rebates and all kinds of great legislation. Then in May, we did the solar boat regatta. Doug Shoemaker and Jennifer Bergholz organized the solar boat regatta this year. And Jennifer is retiring from her volunteer position for that. So Mark Weber is going to take that over with Doug. And he's already made a great partnership with the city of Eden Prairie. So the solar boat regatta will be at Eden Prairie in 2014. And they're having a big Eco-Palooza Day that day, and there'll be a solar tour in Eden Prairie and lots of environmental events. So I think we're going to get a lot of extra press and extra marketing from this partnership that Mark has created. So the solar boat regatta will be exciting next year. Not that it's not always exciting. It's always exciting. So the advocacy committee created the shadow group. And the shadow group this year created the Minneapolis Mayoral Clean Energy Forum. We had 6 candidates there. Don Shelby was there to help out, and we partnered with MNCEA and about 10 other organizations to make that happen. So that was a big deal for us this summer.
What were they raising their hands for?
Jan, what did it say?
They were asked by Don Shelby how many of the candidates believe that human activity is a major cause of global warming.
And they all raised their hand. So I think Betsy Hodges was there, right?
Yeah, she's
in there.
She's behind the picture there.
Yeah.
On the right.
We once again hosted the solar area of Eco Experience at the State Fair, the Minnesota State Fair, as we will once again. Right? So the Eco Experience won the People's Choice for Best Exhibit, so I mean that was great. We also were granted $10,000 from the Department of Commerce to design and print new T-shirts and new brochures. brochures and just basically cover staff time that it takes to organize all the volunteers. So that was really helpful. They also, in addition to that, paid for all the exhibits. You can see one of them there, the solar dollhouses and the solar clothesline. And so we had 89 volunteers filled 216 shifts, which was really good numbers. Usually it takes more volunteers to fill that many shifts, but people really took multiple shifts. That was really helpful to us. And I think that volunteer sign-ups management system was really good this year. It's the first time in 4 years it actually worked for people without me having to get a million phone calls. So I was really happy about that. So we'll be using that next year. We continue to build training with the Midwest Solar Instructor Training Network. They are a DOE funded, it's under the Sunshot Initiative money. We've been partners with them for 4 years. We've sent lots and lots of instructors there, and this year we sent 4 people for curriculum development and PV instructor training. This 2014 will be the last year, so we're hoping to send some more people to this so we can continue to build our training program. We created 2 new training partnerships this year, one with East Spring Learning Institute for online classes, and then one with St. Paul College, so we'll be doing solar thermal training there too. And then of course our partnership with MRES for site assessments, and Century College continues to run our PV 101 and our site assessor training classes. Okay. So we finished up 2 grants this year. One was the Minnesota Solar Challenge. We had over 90 different local governments attend workshops and webinars. And then we provided direct technical assistance for permitting applications, zoning ordinances, solar resource mapping, to 21 different local governments around the state. So this was funded by the Department of Commerce, and it was in partnership with, we worked on our team, was the Clean Energy Resource teams and CR Planning. And then the other grant we did was funded by Clean Energy Resource Team's CERT's seed grant, and we did a community solar background study. And this history was actually before the community gardens legislation happened. So we were still kind of trying to figure out, like, as a state, what would be the best path for Minnesota to go down for community solar. There are lots of models listed here, and we did come to the conclusion at the end of the study that community solar gardens, community shared solar was the best path for us to take, which is what happened in the legislation and the path we're going down now. So this study and lots of other community solar information is on our website. So our future plans, one of the big ones is we're reformatting the solar tour in the metro area. We're going to do the same model that Austin, Texas has done, the Austin Cool House Tour. They just do 10 very high-level houses or maybe businesses, depending, with good architecture, energy efficiency, and renewable energy systems. So that we will be partnering with the Art Institute International to design and market a guidebook. So the Metro Tour will be probably $15 to $20 per person, and you get a guidebook and then take a tour of the sites in the metro area. So it's going to be different. So I would be expecting applications for sites to be requested in January. So installers might want to start thinking about sites that they can submit to that process. And then we are partnered with the Will Steger Foundation now to write curriculum so we can bring the tiny house to teachers as a teaching tool. So the curriculum will be written to have the teachers be able to bring the kids into the house and use it as part of the curriculum. And we're writing 2 grants for that right now, so which hopefully will get funded. I'll just keep writing grants for it until it gets funded, basically. And then we also still have the possibility of building the 1 megawatt community solar garden that we wrote a grant for the Renewable Development Fund. We are still #1 on the reserve list. So if any of the current projects that are funded fall out, we will be next up. So it's still a possibility that we'll be doing that project. So, we can't do all of the stuff that I just talked about. I can't just do it, obviously. So we need everybody to get involved. I know looking out here, I know like most of you are involved in some way, shape, or form. But for those of you who aren't, let's see, next go. Oh, there you go. The best way to get involved is to join a committee. And there's 6 different committees. There's an outreach committee. They work on membership and the website work. The fundraising and finance committee does, obviously, finance and fundraising. Events committee, which Doug is the chair of, takes care of solar tour, solar boat regatta, eco experience, and they organize all the tabling events. And then there's the advocacy committee. Jan Hubbard's the chair for that. They do organize events like the mayoral forum. They write comments for the PUC dockets. What else do you guys do?
Give Dustin awards.
Give Dustin awards. Maybe you can get an award too. And then we have a training committee. They help me develop the classes. And international committee. So does anybody have any questions